this way. So this question 1.1, I'm going to solve that by completing the step. So we have 7 minus 5x equal to x squared. So if you get any equation like that, you have to check if it's in standard form. If it's not, convert it to standard form. So this one here becomes 0 equal to x squared plus 5x minus 7. Okay? Then we take the constant to the left, we get 7 equal to x squared plus 5x. Now be aware that this is the same as x squared plus 5x equal to 7. Because I know that in most cases we are used to having the constant on the right hand side, so we get to that point. Then we need to determine half of the coefficient of x. Okay? We add its square on the left hand side, we also add its square on the right hand side. The moment we add the square of half of the coefficient of x on the left hand side, we'll create a perfect square trinomial. So this will be x squared plus 5x plus, now half of 5 is 5 over 2. Then we square that. Since we added that on the left hand side, we also do it on the right hand side. Because we are solving an equation. So whatever you do on the left, you do it on the right. If it happens that you forget to add the square of half of the coefficient of x, you get an incorrect answer. So this will become x squared plus 5x plus 25 over 4 is equal to, if I simplify this, I'll get 25 over 4, but there's a 7 here. Okay, so I'll get 28 plus 25, so that will give me 53 over 4. Okay, then the trinomial which is on the left can be factorized. Okay, the trinomial on the left can be factorized. As I told you yesterday, your binomial factor is going to have half of the coefficient of x always. Since there is a plus here, it means our binomial factor is going to have a plus between the two terms. So this will become x plus 5 over 2 squared is equal to 53 over 4. Then we take square root on both sides. Okay. The moment you take square root, you must write plus or minus on the right hand side. 53 over 4. And this will give you x plus 5 over 2 is equal to plus or minus the square root of 53 over 2, because 4 is a perfect square. And based on the based on the division law of sets, you can find the square root of the 4, which is a 2. Then from here, we take the 5 over 2 to the right, we get minus 5 over 2 plus or minus the square root of 53 all over 2. So we can write the final answer as minus 5 plus or minus the square root of 53 all over 2. Okay, well, let's leave our answer in set form. Okay, because this is completing the square. So our two answers will be minus 5 plus square root of 53 over 2, or minus 5 minus square root of 53 over 2. Those will be the solutions. All right? Any questions there? Yes, Habib. I need was here. Okay, sometimes the question might specify leave your answers to 2 decimal places. Then you can convert the answers to 2 decimal places. But in this case, you can also get a question saying leave your answers in simplest set form. So you can leave it like that. So I want you to leave it in set form. Then for the next one now, is there anybody who's got a question? Yes?
I got 8, so what I did was I marked minus 5. So I got minus 2.5 plus minus, and
Why would you want to work with decimals? It's always better to work with common fractions than decimal fractions. Okay, especially when you are dealing with equations, it's much better to work with common fractions than decimal fractions. Right? Okay, then this one, that is 1.2, I said use the quadratic formula, but now this is an equation involving fractions, so you have to find the LCD first. And the LCD here, since the denominator of that 1 is the 1, it's going to be the product of x minus 2 and x minus 1. Therefore, our first term, if you consider our LCD will be equal to x minus 2 times x minus 1. So we will get x minus 2 times x minus 1 plus. At this stage, I don't expect anybody to have issues with dealing with the LCD. Since we don't have x minus 2, so since we have x minus 2, this denominator will just multiply its numerator by x minus 1. That's it. Right, so that will be x plus 1 times x minus 1. Then, for the third term, there is x minus 1 in the denominator. So we multiply its numerator by x minus 2. On the right hand side, we have the 0. So 0 times the LCD gives you 0. Okay, so you get that. Then let's remove brackets. You get x squared minus x minus 2x minus 2x plus 2 plus x squared minus x plus x. Well, this is perfect square trinomial. I could have just simplified it. Minus 1 plus 2x minus 4 equal to 0. Right? Then we've got x squared, and x squared will give us 2x squared. Right? Please be aware that these two will cancel out. So I'll have minus 3x plus 2x. That will give us 5x. No, it will give us minus x. This is minus 3x plus 2x, we get minus x. Then 2 minus 1 gives us a 1, minus 5, we get minus 5. Okay. No. 2 minus 1, okay, give us okay. 2 minus 1 gives us positive 1, plus minus 4, we get minus 3. Is that what you got? Yes. Right. Now, you can factorize it if it can be factorized, but I'm not worried about factorization. Use the quadratic formula. So use the quadratic formula, x equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, so our a is 2, b is negative 1, c is negative 3. Right, so on the next page we substitute. So x will be equal to minus 1 plus minus the square root of minus 1 squared, right? Minus 4 times 2 times negative 3, all over 2 by 2. Okay, before I carry on here, just want you to know that we have restrictions as well here, right? Our restrictions will be x is not equal to 2, and also x is not equal to positive 1. Okay, we have restriction because we are dealing with what? Fractions. Right? So, if I carry on here, you get x equal to 1 plus or minus the square root of 1. That will give me 8 by 3, so I'll get plus 24. This is all over 4. So we get x equal to minus 1 plus or minus 1, all over 4. Now, this is a clue that, see this, that's an indicator that the equation itself, the original equation, can be factorized. Okay? Minus and minus gives us a positive 1. Minus 1 all squared gives us a positive 1. Oh, I don't know about that. Okay, sorry for that. Yeah, this is supposed to be a plus. I put my plus. You see, human nature sometimes it can kick in anytime. Alright, so this will be x equal to, if I take the positive, I'll get 3 over 2 If I take the negative, I'll get x equal to minus 2. Now, both of them, okay, they are going to be valid answers. Yes. Negative 1. Oh, negative 1. Yeah, because minus 4 or 4 gives me minus 1. Right, so these are the two answers that you're supposed to get. Okay, and then you are done. Right, so now you've got three ways of solving quadratic equation. If you can't solve the trinomial, then the best method is the quadratic formula. If you prefer the method of completing the square, then you can go ahead. Okay. Also the calculator. Did I show you how to use the calculator? All right, I'll show you on Monday. Okay.